If you're going to be investing your time and energy into something, it only makes sense to come determine that there's some positive effect from the experience, right? I found this quote while researching a study published about leadership development courses, and you might believe that this is in no way relevant to you, like leadership development? What's that? Like, that's not what I want. I just want to become successful. And for those of you that just want to become successful, this is completely relevant. Let me explain. So, in this study, there were people referred to as hostages, and they clearly did not want to be, they clearly did not volunteer to be in the programs. Essentially, their bosses or organizations nominated them for the position. In the study, they were measuring for leaders that improved the most and what caused the improvement. They found that the hostages did only what was necessary to check the boxes and nothing more. Big surprise, right? It's just like those people in class who do exactly what's necessary to pass. So, what was interesting about the study was that the notable absence of hostages in the group of leaders that improved the most, right? And from the study, they measured the leaders who improved the most and they tried to see what improvements they did, right? So they were trying to figure out what they worked on or how exactly they became better leaders. And they discovered a lot of various frameworks and mentalities, but the one that I want to share with you here is return on investment. And I know this is talked about a lot in the self-help space and it shouldn't need much of an introduction. So I'll keep it brief and keep flowing along with the study. I thought it was interesting when I heard this because it directly relates to my latest videos and posts about responsibility, right? And when asked, the leaders responded that, or this one in particular leader responded that they were determined to get whatever they could, whatever perceived value that they could out of the program. The others did their best to explain, what they meant. And essentially it came out along the same lines as what I just read to you, but they didn't have it in exactly, the right words. So, immediately after hearing this reasoning, I thought about how me and you can apply it, right? And what are we forced into for a large chunk of our life because it's supposedly beneficial for us? Church for some families, but school, if you live in the US like I do, then you're required by law to go to school. And there's not much you can do with it, or there's not much you can do about it. You can get, but you can get as much value as possible, right? So that just means don't let yourself be chewed up and spit out by, this system, right? In my channel, I've covered a very similar topic and said that we're all given a certain a certain set of certain individual circumstances, and rather than trying to change those circumstances, change how you play it, right? Think of your circumstance as a game. Rather than spending the majority of your life looking for a potential glitch or cheat that may or may not lead you to where you want to be, pick up some books. Pick up an instruction manual to learn how to play the game, right? And there are plenty of player guides if you want to keep referring to life as a game, because it kind of is. But there are plenty of player guides, from like the most successful people in the world. Even even Stalin has one, right? So you're a variable in an equation of life, in the equation of life. The only thing you can do is change or control yourself. But when you do, the result of the equation will change. So if you do this enough times, you'll get different answers. And eventually you'll find an answer that you like a little more or a little less. And because life is qualitative and not quantitative like I've been describing in this metaphor here, you can tell which way is closer or farther from what you want and have an idea from where you want to be based off of the data you've collected and the things that you've experienced. And that's why I believe the saying, live more, get out there, comes from things like that. The more you experience and live, the greater the odds are for you to get what you want. You'll find that or you'll find that things just work out, right? I mean, you do got to put in effort and go through some discomfort and change. And go through the discomfort of change first. But I believe all that failure is worth it if in the end you come across one grand solution that sets you for the rest of your life. Plus, the lifetime of failures provide you with experience and stories that no one else has. It leads you to a life full of adventure and a life worth noting. You can pass that information on to your future kids, your future family, other people. You can really do what you want with it. Even if your life ends up completely being just like cataclysm of failures, you'll have a story to write about, something to tell people, and it's valuable because they'll be able to learn from it. And then you can make success just based off of that. There's countless people that's done that. If you've ever written The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, that's quite literally the plot line of the story. So the point of this video was saying to you students out there, to you people at the workplace that don't like your jobs, stop asking the question of what am I getting from this place, but ask, what am I becoming? What can I, become? What traits can I gather from this place, right? What can I learn from this place? And chances are there's a lot that you haven't thought about. There's 1,000,001 different perspectives to hold about life, and chances are there's one you haven't just come across yet. I realize this video is kind of choppy, and I apologize for that. I haven't quite learned how to edit too well yet, but it's an experiment. Again, trials and failures, right? Um, if you liked it, leave me a comment and subscribe. If you want to join a community of people that are, also on the self-improvement path, I have a subreddit. It's r/holistic improvement. Feel free to drop by. With all that said, make sure you're getting the most out of everything you do. Stay on task, and I'll see you soon.